Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Local customers of the Cooperative Bank will receive a share of almost $45,000 as the bank gives back surplus profits as part of its annual rebate. The Regional Council's Māori Policy Unit will host a Te Ahurangi conference in Rotorua on Monday, focusing on the future of the Māori economy. And Rotorua Boys High need a big win tomorrow to stay in play in the Super 8 rugby competition. Bay of Plenty Regional Council has held its rates increase to an average of $2 a year for average properties in its annual plan. The plan for 2014 to 15 was adopted yesterday and is based on year 3 of its 10-year plan, which sets out what activities the council will undertake and how they will be paid for. Chairman Doug Leader says the council's priorities for the coming year are the Tauranga Harbour and Catchment, the Rotorua Te Arawa Lakes program, its water management program and flood risk and river scheme sustainability. Local customers of the Cooperative Bank will receive a share of almost $45,000 as the bank gives back surplus profits as part of its annual rebate. This will be the second year in a row the Cooperative Bank will share its profits directly with its customers. Chief Executive Bruce McLaughlin says for most customers the rebate will be between $7 and $100, which isn't huge, but customers would rather see a small slice in their own pocket than see profits sent to anonymous shareholders overseas. The future of the Māori economy in the Bay of Plenty will come under the spotlight at a conference being held in Rotorua on Monday. About 200 delegates from around the region will attend the one-day hui being hosted by the Bay of Plenty Regional Council's Māori Policy Unit at Waiariki Institute of Technology. Okare representative on the Regional Council, Arapata Tahana, says the biennial conference will showcase Māori capability and foster the capacity of Māori to contribute to regional decision making.
The word Te Ahurangi means to move towards the pinnacles of the skies. So I suppose it's a metaphor for doing the best, for excellence, for achieving the utmost that you can. Now this conference, the genesis of this conference, because this isn't the first one, this is the second one, was originally started to build Māori capability and capacity in engaging with councils and council decision making processes. This time around we've taken it a bit broader than just the council lens, and we're looking at success right across the spectrum of Māori. So there's a number of subjects and topics that we'll be looking at the conference, from economic development, from managing environmental issues, from the whole journey of treaty settlements. And
we have more on the conference later in the show. If you feel like taking in a musical tomorrow, perhaps the Rotorua Lakes High School production of Street Cats might be tempting. The show premiered on Wednesday and has since rocked some appreciative audiences. Also tomorrow night, the Okaraka Dance Company present the second night of their latest production, Manawahine, at the Civic Theatre. The dance company is co-founded by dancer and choreographer Taiaroa Royal, who grew up on the family farm at Lake Okaraka. Also deserving of a mention is Matariki at the museum on tomorrow night. On offer is a range of fun and informative family events, including the Star Lab, stargazing, weaving, crafts, face painting, the travelling tuataras and more. A great family night out. To the weekend sport now. Rotorua Boys High First 15 face a must-win match tomorrow night against fellow mid-table side Hastings Boys High School in the Super 8 rugby competition. Boys High assistant coach Craig Hodge says the next 2 games are must-wins for the Chiefs Cup champions. Kick-off tomorrow is at 12 p.m. To your weather now. The forecast tonight is showers, some heavy, westerly freshens and an overnight low of 7. And we have a full forecast of the weekend's weather coming up thanks to Met Service straight after City News. For program listings or to watch City News again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz and remember to check out our Facebook page for updates. Still to come tonight, we talk with Gilmore's manager Ricky Bowen about being nominated for the Rotorua Hospitality Award. We catch up with Chris Blong, manager of Paradise Ice Skating, and we have more on the Te Ahurangi conference being held here on Monday.
Everybody, well, I'm at Gilmore's Cash and Carry on Thingai Road. If you own a company, a charity, a club or a trust, then you can come out here and shop. And the owner is joining me now. They've recently been nominated for the Hospitality Awards Awesome Supplier, and they're the only supplier that is locally owned and operated, which means that all of their money stays in the Rotorua community. Very happy about that. Kia ora, Ricky.
Kia ora.
How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
You must be happy with that nomination.
Oh, absolutely. It's an honour to be nominated. It's an honour to even be recognised. So, really happy.
Yeah, and how do you know who nominated you?
We don't. So we don't know who nominated for us or nominated us. We got nominated by a number of different people, but we don't know who they are. So for me, that's about obviously doing my job right, my team doing their job right, and obviously meeting expectations of our customers.
Must be every day too, because obviously a mystery shopper has come out.
Yeah, well, somehow they've chosen us to be nominated. As I say, we're really happy about that, and hopefully we can take it all away and win Outstanding Supplier for 2014.
That is great. Well, good luck with that.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. So I'm looking around at some of the things that you are supplying. There's some massive deals out here. I actually just walked past and I'm like, I'm going to start a charity or I'm going to start a company so I can come and get a great big Scotch fillet for 20 bucks. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so we do full range now. We never used to sell meat. Now we do, fresh meat. So a lot of the restaurants in town buy their meat from us. We only sell export quality, so it's the premium stuff. And at really good prices. If you compare us to some of the supermarkets in town, they'll be almost double the price of our meat.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, you're silly if you're not part of Gilmore's, really, aren't you? If you've got one of those four.
If you've got an ability to shop here and you don't, then yeah, you're probably spending a bit too much somewhere else. So that's, if you want to save some money, which everyone does, this is the spot.
And so how did you get into it? Because you're the owner.
Yep.
When did this all start for you?
Well, I've been in grocery/retail from when I was 13 years old. So after school, I got a job in my local Foursquare, built up my way through all of the channels. Foodstuffs, who are the head owners, say, of the franchise for Gilmore's. They also own Foursquare, Pack and Save and New World. They sort of put you through a management program. If you qualify and you do really well, then eventually you get the opportunity to say, I'll have a big mortgage, thanks, and one day it'll pay off.
It will pay off.
Yeah.
And obviously it's already starting to pay off because people have seen that you're a success, you've been nominated.
Yep.
And so hopefully that all goes well. Now, we were asking before about, the kind of stuff that's here and that he's selling, and I asked about food trends. And apparently Mexican is coming up.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Mexican food is making a big push in Auckland, which generally means it'll come down here eventually. There's no real big major restaurant doing Mexican food in Rotorua, so there's opportunity there for somebody. But don't get me wrong, traditional foods, fish and chips and the bakeries, they're very strong here too.
Yeah, they would love it.
Yeah.
We all love the fish and chips. We all do. Our waistlines don't love us for it, but we all do enjoy good fish and chips.
Absolutely.
And the Mexican, so that's your spicy food and your tacos and burritos.
So tacos, burritos, food wraps, just different styles of cooking more than anything. But along with that, we're getting into the spirit with Mexican beers. So we've got some new Mexican beers that are only bought here in Gilmore's. So we've gone to Mexico and found what are the beers that we can get hold of. Our suppliers are in that for us, and we're holding that now in stock.
Wow, that is cool. That's some cool business, Ricky. That is going to Mexico. I'm just going to go to Mexico.
Yeah, not only personally, I wish I could, but we managed to get away to Melbourne recently, which was good. That's the real food scene of the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah. If you want to see what's new in food, you go to Melbourne. That's the place to go to. So we managed to take 12 customers with us. They qualified through different means, and basically we managed to get 12 of them to come across, gave them a food experience that they could never have got just going on their own, took them to really, really cool bars, clubs, restaurants, had meals, a bit too much to drink in some cases, but also took them to coffee roasters and taught them about roasting coffee, and to microbreweries who are just setting up now in Melbourne and selling boutiques type beers. So it was a good learning experience for them, and they're all hanging out for the next trip. So
I bet they are, and I bet they're going to be customers for life now.
Oh, I think hopefully they will, because it's a big investment, but they also invest in us, and I like it when my customers can talk to me. So it's a good opportunity to get away for 4 days with my customers and learn from them as well.
Wonderful networking, wonderful for business networking, eh? And all of that kind of stuff. That's great. And now I'm even more determined to be a customer of Gilmore's.
So food service is our thing. That's where we really want to push and grow our business. So the restaurants, cafes in town, we want their support, and hence the reason we want to support them. So.
Awesome. So the dairies and stuff, they must all come out to you?
Yeah, they do, absolutely. The dairies still shop with us, absolutely. They're definitely a core part of our business, and they do actually make up the major part of our business. But food service is just so trendy, it's where we want to be.
That's where you want to be. Nice. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to say? You want to encourage people to come out and have a look, or how do they get involved?
Yeah, so absolutely. Anyone can come out and have a look. And we can work through, we've got a flow chart to see whether you can actually become a customer. And to be honest, a lot of people can, they don't even realise it. If they've got a family trust, bang, you're in. You know, if you're part of a club, you can shop with that club. You know, so there's ways of shopping through Gilmore's, even though you may not actually own a business. So it's not just for business owners, but that's our major focus. But hey, I'm happy to have anyone as a customer.
So that's great. Anybody that might like to come out and be a customer of Gilmore's, all you need to do is come out, see Ricky, see his team, and see if you can qualify, and then you're in.
Yep, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ricky.
Cheers.
Well, some of you, if you've been into town, if you've been down to the lakefront, you will know already that there's an ice rink here. Now, this ice rink is sponsored by Harcourts. We love Harcourts. They have hooked up Chris here, Chris Blong, who is in charge of the ring and is going to run it for the Fire and Ice Winter Festival. Hi, Chris.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, thank you. I'm excited to talk to you because I've always had a bit of a thing with ice rinks. They look so interesting, and this one here is plonked in the middle of what's not a freezer. We're definitely not on a mountainside somewhere, and when you get ice like this, obviously, you know, it's quite a nice day, there's grass just over the fence. How do you keep it so cold?
Okay, well, we have a chiller system from Rotorua that helps keeps it nice and cold, and we pump at a rapid rate glycol, which is like antifreeze which you put in your radiator, same thing. And we run that down to about -7 degrees Celsius, and we pump that through the whole system, these aluminium plates here, and then we just spray and freeze the water up from there.
Okay, so you've got essentially some panels underneath.
Correct.
And you've just put a bit of water on the top and frozen it on the top.
Yeah, kind of. So what we do is firstly we have to have a deck that's within 5 millimeters flat to lay the panels on, and then we hook up all the hosing. See these panels here, and they feed those panels, and then we fire up the plant and the pump, and away we go.
And away you go. And so if it, like, I'm just interested in this, if the freezer went down, how long have you got before it starts to be a pond?
Okay, well, it depends a little bit on the conditions, because as you can see, part of the rink is outdoors, but we probably would have 2 to 5 hours to repair the problem to get the plant back up and running before we started getting too wet. Yeah.
So are you a good ice skater?
I used to be. I represented New Zealand in both figure skating and ice hockey many years ago. And all our family has been involved in representatives for New Zealand. Yeah.
Wow, now that was just a fluke question, but let's roll with that.
Okay.
That's fantastic. So tell me about how you got into it. You said your family's in it.
Yes, that's right. My parents actually started at Paradise Ice Skating when we were little children, and they used to work every hour under the sun, so naturally we hopped on the ice as babysitting service, and that's how we all got started.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is it hard?
No, it's easy. Come down and try it. But if you're finding it difficult, we've got skate aids that are 3-sided that help you to get started. So yeah, that's pretty easy.
That'll be me. You have little training skates that come out the side, like little training wheels on a bike. I'd need those.
Yeah, well, we've even got a video with skating tips on that for you. So there you go.
Oh, good stuff. Because I've always been perplexed at how you can stand on such a thin blade. But so obviously you can do it.
How does it work? Yeah. Okay, well, the blade bites into the ice and creates friction there, and so you actually have quite good grip depending on how sharp the skates are and how deep the groove is underneath. So you have, on a blade, you would have one edge on each side, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay, so did you go overseas and represent?
Yes, we competed at international competitions and world championships for both figure skating and ice hockey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really neat. Well, the Harcourts are just wonderful, and I know that the Te Kura Kaupapa Māori, or Koutu, have been invited to come free of charge. 250 children are coming, and Harcourts are flipping the bill. How's that? Don't we love Harcourts? Those children, I'm told, are very excited. So how are you going to cope with 250 school kids here?
Okay, well, we can cater for them. We'll probably put them in groups of their classes of 30 or more, and then just get their skates and get the next lot in, and probably spread it over a couple of hours. That's probably how we'll do it. But it sounds like it's a lot of fun, and it's very generous of Harcourts to do that.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Wow, I really want to see that spin. We'll come down and we'll get it later on.
Okay, you're on.
Kia ora.
Thank you.
Iwi representative Arapita Tihana, who is also on the Bay of Plenty Regional Council, joins me today as he's part of the Māori policy team, and we're going to be discussing his role here at the council, but also the upcoming Te Ahu Rangi conference, which is being held up at Wairiki on Monday. Hi Arapita, thanks for joining us today. Now, before we get into the reason why we've come to talk to you, just tell us about your role here at Bay of Plenty Regional Council in the Māori policy team.
Sure. Well, I was fortunate enough last year to be elected onto council. So I'm a councillor that represents Okude, which is the Māori constituency for the Rotorua district. So I suppose have a special role there in council in trying to represent and advocate for the interests of Māori. That said, we also have to take a perspective for what's right for the whole Bay of Plenty. So I really enjoy that opportunity of thinking about what is it that we need as Māori and what will help us to flourish, but within the context of ensuring that everyone in our community can do well.
Are you the only Māori on the regional council?
No, there's three Māori seats on the regional council. In fact, we were the first council in the country to have Māori seats put in place. Waikato Regional Council recently established some Māori seats, so I suppose a wee bit unique in the country in that sense.
That's fantastic, isn't it? Especially in Rotorua, because we've got such a huge Māori population. So, as part of your role, do you get to go out and meet with local iwi and whānau?
Yep, definitely. In fact, we have a Māori committee and all our meetings are held on marae, so we head around to the different parts of the district every couple of months and hold our hui on marae, and that's a great opportunity for our whānau, for our people to come along and first of all, I suppose, share their views on what's important to them, particularly around the environment, because that's our main mandate, is looking after our environment, but also to learn about local government, because for a lot of our people they're aware of local government but don't necessarily know exactly what we do, particularly regional councils, because we don't have the same kind of presence as a district council or city council does.
So you find obviously that communication and building those relationships are utmost of importance?
Oh, definitely. Particularly in today's context with treaty settlements, there's a lot of arrangements now where there's co-governance, so different iwi authorities have seats on different council committees to look after certain resources in their area. So it's really important that we have strong relationships with Māori and understand what their aspirations are and what's important to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the reason we've come to see you is about a conference on Monday, Ahu Rangi conference. So just share a little bit about that and why you're holding it here in Rotorua.
Cool. I suppose the first thing I should say is explain what Te Ahurangi means, because that really encaptures what the whole conference is about. And the word Te Ahurangi means to move towards the pinnacles of the skies. So I suppose it's a metaphor for doing the best, for excellence, for achieving the utmost that you can. Now this conference, the genesis of this conference, because this isn't the first one, this is the second one, was originally started to build Māori capability and capacity in engaging with councils and council decision making processes. This time around we've taken it a bit broader than just the council lens, and we're looking at success right across the spectrum of Māori. So there's a number of subjects and topics that we'll be looking at the conference, from economic development, from managing environmental issues, from the whole journey of treaty settlements. So really inspiring kind of kaupapa or topic to be dealing with.
It's pretty broad, isn't it, really?
It is very broad, yep. But for us it's about sharing, I suppose, the things that have worked, and sharing, I suppose, celebrating the success of Māori in various areas.
Now you've got 4 keynote speakers, and one of them is from Tūhoe,
yep,
which I think would be quite interesting. Patrick McGarvey, he'd be a quite interesting man to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. Patrick's been heavily involved in Tūhoe's negotiations, and he's a real grassroots man. He grew up in Duatoki. Māori was his first language, so comes from that really grassroots perspective, but also has a very good understanding of local government. In fact, he worked for the regional council for some time as a iwi liaison officer. But probably, what's more interesting is the whole journey of Tūhoe and where they are now, and taking control of their destiny.
I think it's really important. You've got someone who, like you said, isn't grassroots, but is also clued up on what happens in government, and Māori need that connection or that pivot point, if you like, so we know what's going on.
Oh, absolutely, and I think a kind of key message for me growing up from my elders and my father was that you need to be able to walk in both worlds. And I'm seeing more and more younger Māori coming through that have that blend of really understanding the Māori world, but also understanding I suppose the Western world, and be it in business, be it in environmental management. We're getting a lot of very skilled people who can bring that dual aspects of the world and make a difference for our people.
Now, you mentioned this is the second conference. Is there going to be any more, or what's the future aspirations?
Yeah, these conferences will be held every 2 years. So it's something that our council approved. We've approved it in our 10-year plan. So there's a budget there that's dedicated to doing this every 2 years. So you'll see more of this.
Good stuff. Well, we appreciate what you guys are doing in the community and appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Okere Bay of Plenty Regional Councillor Arapeta Tahana speaking with Alan Solomon. If you'd like to watch the show again, visit our website tv.rotorua.co.nz, or to contact us, phone 07 3488 984. We'd like to wish all the nominees for Sunday night's Hospitality Awards all the best. Tune in on Monday night for our results. Thanks for watching tonight. Have a great weekend. Ko Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.